It's around that time of year again where everyone's making predictions about what's going to happen with real estate. And most of them are going to be wrong, including probably most of mine. But I've been watching this market closely, and I think there are some clear signals for what 2026 might look like. Now, these are just my predictions and not advice, but I think it's fun to guess where the market's headed so we can look back at the end of the year and see how right or wrong I was. I've got five predictions for what's next with Kelowna real estate in 2026, plus one fun one at the end that I'm going to need your help with. Let's start with number one. Prediction number one: single family home prices will stay flat or go up slightly. If you were watching single family home prices in 2025, you might have noticed something interesting. Prices at the end of the year were pretty much the same as they were at the beginning. So they didn't crash, but there was a small spike in the middle of the year, but basically they were steady. And I think 2026 is going to look similar, maybe with a slight uptick. And here's why. We're simply not building enough single family homes to keep up with demand. And that demand isn't slowing down. U-Haul just released their 2025 growth data, and Kelowna ranked number 6 in all of Canada for net migration. More people moving in than moving out. That's real demand showing up with moving trucks. Families are still growing and needing more space too. And that demand is especially strong in the $700 to $100 million range, which is where a lot of families are looking. When you have strong demand and limited supply, prices don't tend to fall. They hold or they inch up. Now, does that mean every home is going to sell quickly? No. Overpriced homes are still going to sit. Buyers are savvy right now and they're not overpaying just because a seller wants a certain number. But realistically priced homes that are in that core price range, I think those will move and prices will stay stable or rise slightly. Prediction number two: condo prices will continue to drop. Okay, here's where things look different than with single family homes. If you've been watching the condo market, it's been rough. And I don't see that changing right away in 2026. Right now, we're sitting at about 14 months of inventory. And what that means is, out of every 14 condos listed on the MLS, only one is selling in any given 30-day period. Or, in other words, out of every 100 condo listings, 93 aren't selling in a given month. And that doesn't even include the new builds that developers are sitting on. We have more condo inventory than we've seen in the last 10 years, and it's well above the 10-year rolling average. And until that inventory comes down, one way or another, there's going to be downward pressure on condo prices. Condo prices have been dropping steady since June 2025, and we're now 14.5% below the peak price of 2022. And I think there's still more room to fall before we hit a bottom. But here's the flip side. If you're a first time buyer or someone looking to get into the market and you're okay riding out this pricing cycle for the long term, there are opportunities here for you. At some point, prices do bottom out, and buying when others are hesitant is often how people build wealth over time. But I'm curious what you think though. Let me know in the comments below how low you think condo prices will drop this year. Prediction number three: Kelowna will walk back short-term rental restrictions. This one's a bit of a wild card, but honestly, it's already starting to happen. You might remember the province brought in new short-term rental restrictions a couple years ago, but here's the thing about those. They also built in a way for communities to opt out if their vacancy rate stays above 3% for two consecutive years. Well, Kelowna's vacancy rate hit 4.1% in 2024, and in 2025, it jumped to 6.9%. That's 2 years in a row, well above the threshold. And just last week, a news story came out saying Kelowna is ready to officially seek relief from those provincial regulations. City staff are recommending they pursue an exemption to restore short-term rentals in buildings that operated them before the provincial changes. If this goes through, it helps tourism, it helps the local economy, and it could take some pressure off that condo inventory situation. Now, will it happen in time for summer 2026? I'm not holding my breath. The government moves slowly, but the wheels are turning, and I think we'll see real movement on this, even if the full impact doesn't show up until 2027. Prediction number four: the Bank of Canada will keep its overnight rate steady for most of the year. This one matters more than people realize. If you look at what the Bank of Canada has done over the last 18 months, it's been a steady march downward. Back in July 2024, the overnight rate was at 4.5%. Since then, they've cut it multiple times, and as of December 2025, we're sitting at 2.25%. At the same time, inflation has come way down. If you remember 2022, inflation spiked around 8%. It was rough. But now we're back down around 2%, right where the Bank of Canada wants it. So, what does that tell us? The bank has signaled this rate cycle is essentially done. They've done the work to bring rates down. Inflation is apparently under control. And unless something major happens on the global stage that nobody saw coming, I think they hold steady with their overnight rate for most of 2026. And why does that matter for real estate? Well, it's stability. The overnight rate directly affects variable mortgage rates and has an influence on fixed ones. When people feel like rates aren't going to swing wildly in either direction, they feel more confident making big decisions. And buying a home is a big decision. Consumers like certainty. When they have it, they're more likely to make a move. And that leads me to my fifth prediction, which I think is the biggest one. Prediction number five: Kelowna will see more home sales than the last 2 years. This is where everything ties together. Think about what we just talked about: interest rates stabilizing, condo and townhome prices becoming more affordable, rates already lower than they were a couple years ago when things really did slow down. Add all of that up, and you've got conditions that should bring some of that pent up buyer demand we keep hearing about back into the market. Sales in 2025 were already trending up compared to 2024. Not dramatically, but the direction was positive, and I think 2026 continues that trend. People who've been sitting on the sidelines, waiting for things to settle down, they're going to start feeling like it's time. Not because of hype in the market or pressure, but because the math starts making sense again for their situation. More certainty, more affordability in certain segments will result in more activity and more sales. And that's my biggest prediction for 2026. Okay, this is the last one, and this is the one I need your help with. Right now, this channel is sitting at just over 1,100 subscribers. And my prediction: we're going to hit 1,500 subscribers by September. And now, I can't do that alone. So if you've made it this far in the video and you want to stay up to date on what's happening with the Kelowna real estate market, hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. It really does help. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you. I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
All right, those are my predictions for the Kelowna real estate market in 2026. Like I said at the top though, some of these might hold up, others might not. But that's the nature of predictions. But I'd love to hear what you think. Drop a comment down below with your prediction for the Kelowna real estate market this year. What do you think is going to happen? Let's compare notes at the end of the year and see who got the closest. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.